Morena, Ohayo gozaimasu. Today we are in Osaka. We stayed in Dotonbori, Osaka, right next to the Kuromon sign. We were so close to all of the hustle and bustle. The first thing that we had to do when we arrived was get some food. We found this super cute izakaya called Taco, and they made takoyakis, but they were also a jazz and blues bar. This was my first time trying takoyaki and oh my god, it's incredible. It's soft and melty and crunchy all at the same time, and oh my goodness. This is the yakisoba and they have these little fish flakes on it which dance. Incredible. My favorite thing about these izakayas is the atmosphere. The people who served us were so friendly, and we ended up seeing one of the other girls afterwards at one of the convenience stores, and she came up to us and said hi. It's just the most incredible vibe, and when you have those conversations, it just makes it so much more fun. We walked around for a bunch of the night and then ended up going to sleep quite late, like 1 o'clock. And the first thing we did the next day when we woke up was get egg sandwiches, tamago sando. Oh my god, these are, I know it's like blasphemous to say, but one of my favorite foods in Japan. One of my favorite things about Japan is how everything looks so aesthetic. I love how they incorporate so much art into every part of their culture. Look at that dragon and that fish. The next thing that we did was go to Kuromon Market. Osaka is known as the kitchen of Japan, and Kuromon Market is known as the kitchen of Osaka, so you know it's going to be good. We started off by buying some tempura shrimp and dango. Dango is like a rice flour mochi sort of ball, but it's a non-sweet one, and then they put sweet soy sauce on top. The tempura shrimp is absolutely divine. It's so juicy and melty and crunchy all at the same time. Then we went to this gorgeous little antique store that was off the corner of Kuromon Market. We went down this little alleyway and it was there. Tom put a little ring there. Lastly, I had to grab some melon because I cannot survive without fruit. And then we went and got some strawberry matcha. I've never tried strawberry matcha before, and I feel like the best place to try it for the first time has to be Japan. It's good milk. I didn't get real milk. Good. The next stop was Namba Yasaka Jinja. It's a Shinto shrine in the middle of Osaka City, and it has this cool little lion head mouth there, which is very unique. Beautiful place to go. Then we were going to the conveni again because we are obsessed. It's one of the best places to get cheap food in Japan and it has so many snacks. I truly don't understand why we don't have these in other countries. Like, bring them to Australia and New Zealand, please. Everything in today's itinerary was technically walkable, so we walked for another like 15-20 minutes to get down to Osaka Shinsekai. At this point we were somehow hungry again. It was lunchtime, and believe it or not, there was a longer period of time between the last time that we ate and this. We went to Kuromaya Tonkatsu restaurant and got 2 sets of their pork tonkatsu. One of my favorite things about Japanese food is how they often come with so many different elements. There's pickles, there's miso soup, there's rice, there's tonkatsu, there's cabbage. It just really is exciting and surprising all the time. We then went to explore the rest of Shinsekai, walking through Janjan Yokocho, which is one of their main shopping streets there. There's so much to see and look at and smell. I love just walking through the streets. Our first train ride of the day was to head back from Shinsekai to Dotonbori. We absolutely love the trains in Japan. In New Zealand, the public transport is abysmal, but in Japan, everything runs so smoothly and it's really easy to understand and follow if you just have Google Maps. We did a little bit more window shopping before heading back to our hotel for a rest. At the end of it, Tom was doing his shopping and I was sitting on the little seats they have for the chairs. just like so sleepy, my eyes could barely open. And then we bought I bought a giant thing of water and then some salad because I need some vegetables. Oh. It is mostly cabbage, but it was $2 Australian AUD. And it's just like a bunch of vegetables, fresh veggies, which is, you need it when you're eating so much like sugary fried things. Well, no, it's been a great day. And now we are going to have like a chill out for a little bit because I'm exhausted.
21,000 steps.
That's pretty good. And then after that, we're gonna go get some dinner. Maybe have a little look at Michelin-recommended if it's still open. Usually things are open a lot later here. Like they open late and then close late. So it should be okay. And then what are we thinking for dinner? We might go to Ichiran. We haven't been there yet. And we saw quite a few around here really close. So I'm thinking if there's lots of different spots, then perhaps we can find somewhere that doesn't have as big of a line. After we'd had a rest, we went down to Michelin-recommended. It was very close to where we were staying and there were so many vintage stores. One of the ladies who worked there explained to us that they buy them in bulk from America and then resell it in Japan. Then we just went and explored through the streets of Osaka. We went to Ichiran for dinner. It was a whole process. We had to wait in line for 23 minutes to get to the little ticket vending machine where we ordered our food and got our tickets. Then we waited another 20 minutes before we sat down, which is where we gave the specifications of what we wanted our ramen to taste like. You sit in these little booths next to each other and they come and drop off the food through a little hole in the wall. In total, it took us 50 minutes to get our food, but it was well worth the wait. We stopped for an after-dinner snack at Takoyaki Wanaka number and then had to get some taiyaki also. Our second full day in Osaka, we went to Sakimoto Cafe. It's right next to the bakery and also the coffee shop. They're kind of separate buildings but all in one spot, and they all have the most incredible food and drinks. You order using the QR code and I got the egg sando set with some black tea. And Tom got the French toast with a juice. Is it good? We then went for a wander and found Kuro's main number branch where we bought some Japanese cheesecake. You can either wait in line and get the freshly baked cheesecakes, or you can get the faster line and get ones that are 2 hours old. We ended up going for the slightly older ones, but they were still warm when we bought them and so fluffy and delicious. It kind of tastes like a souffle cheesecake. We then went and did a little bit more shopping and found the store ESP. They had the most amazing streetwear finds. Tom wanted to try Moss Burger, which is a popular Japanese fast food restaurant. The way that you're supposed to eat a Moss Burger is to eat it inside of the bit of paper and let the sauce drop into the bottom and then dip your chips into the sauce afterwards. The next stop was Osaka Castle. This castle was built in 1583 by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who was a powerful daimyo who sought to unify Japan. Inside there is a museum which depicts so much of the rich history of Japan. We weren't allowed to take any photos, but we were allowed to go up to the very top of the castle.
How many steps have we done?
16,000.
16,000.
Then we took a train to go to Grenier Umeda store, which is a to-die-for bakery with the most incredible pastries and gorgeous layout. It looks like a little fairy store in the middle of a forest. We bought a creme brulee pastry each with sweet custardy cream inside and flaky crunchy pastry. Just across from the bakery is the Hep Five Ferris Wheel. That was our next stop. We bought a ticket at the door and then waited in line to get on. The view was incredible, but I was shocked at how terrifying this experience was. Dinner one was at Honke Atako Hosenji, an okonomiyaki restaurant back in Dotonbori. We bought yakisoba and okonomiyaki. Yaki literally means grilled or fried in Japanese, and so when you see yakisoba, it essentially means fried soba. Both of these meals are rich and salty and have so much depth of flavor. Okonomiyaki is a savory pancake with cabbage and lots of toppings.
Is it?
Slightly.
Dinner number 2 was from Kamukura, which is a chain ramen restaurant where you order on these cute little iPads, and we got the most insane amount of food for only 2,500 yen. At this point, I was more than stuffed. I don't know if I've ever eaten that much food in one go. And that was our final day in Osaka. Next up was Kyoto and Tokyo.